from documentary and educational point of view, strongly following the YouTube community guidelines. We analyzed the social media unverified footages, which can be unverified at times, and we analyzed those visuals and reports, which can be unverified at times, purely from academic, educational, and documentary point of view, strongly following the YouTube community guidelines. So we now have this news that US KC-135. This is US KC-135 refueling airplanes. These airplanes are American airplanes. US KC 135 USKC 135 airplanes that have been USKC 135 airplanes. These are the visuals of satellite images of USKC 135 airplanes fueling. These are refueling jets, and these have been targeted by what you call Iranian drones, and US has confirmed that these have been targeted by Iranian drones, and this is the news is of mid-March. The news is of mid-March, when US KC 135 refueling planes were targeted by US by Iranian drones, resulting in the damage done to 5 of those refueling KC-135 airplanes of US. US did admit that this event happened in the mid of March, and US said that the damage is not the damage was done to those 5 planes, that these were stationed at Saudi Arabia's airports and facilities, and now US is saying that this is they are being repaired, and they will be back into the service as soon as possible. So this is the visuals, the satellite images we are sharing you when KC-135 refueling airplanes were struck by drones, Iranian drones, and these were the images from mid March, and the US did admit that these 5 refueling planes were indeed damaged by Iranian strikes, and these were stationed at Saudi Arabia's airports, and now these 5 KC-135 are being repaired, and they would be soon back into the service. This is the confirmation from the US, and they said that this event happened in mid-March. So this was the news today, and now let's move towards some more news. These are the Iranian missiles over the skies of Israel. You see these visuals of Iranian missiles over the skies of Israel. We have a poll for you that who do you think is currently having an upper edge in this war, and who do you think is winning this war? Also, do please subscribe the channel and like the video and share your thoughts and comments with us. Please do subscribe the channel and do like the video, and do subscribe the channel as well, and do take part in the poll as well, which we have for you, that which side is currently having an upper edge, and which side is currently winning this war and is in better position. Do please comment, do please take part in this in this poll. And this is new videos showing Iraqi members of the Iranian proxy group PMF filming themselves fleeing in panic as American strikes hit them. So America is striking PMF in Iraq. This PMF is basically like you can say the proxy of Iran, and they are in Iraq. And this PMF is also fighting alongside Iran, and this PMF is fighting alongside Iran. And America is striking this PMF as well now. Please do subscribe the channel, and do like the video as well, and do share your thoughts as well. Also do take part in this poll which we have for you. And up till now we have 10 votes in this poll, that who is winning this war, and all 10 votes have been voted for Iran. And let's move to some more visuals as well, and let's have some more visuals as well. And we have some more visuals for you, and this is we have some more video, and Hezbollah launching the missiles towards Israel. Hezbollah is another proxy group, as I have told you earlier, that there are Iran has 4 to 5 proxy groups. Iran has 4 to 5 proxy groups which are fighting alongside Iran and against Israel, and America. And those proxy groups are, let me tell you about those proxy groups, some information about those proxy groups. The proxy groups are, let's begin with Iraq, and those proxy group are PMF in Iraq, Popular Mobilization Force, that is, and they are in Iraq, and they are supporting Iran from Iraq. And another is the Houthis from Yemen. Another is Hezbollah, which is actively fighting a war against Israel and Lebanon. And another is Hamas. The Iranians do also support Hamas as well in Gaza. Hamas has now been neutralized by Israel, and these are the proxy groups. And why, one might think that you might have questions in your mind, that why do at even first place Iran supports these proxy groups, and why Iran is interested in these supporting these proxy groups. The answer to this is quite simple. The answer to this is Iran wants the war to stay away from its borders. Iran wanted this war to stay away from its borders. So how can the war, for as long as possible, Iran wanted the war to stay away from its borders. So that's why Iran created proxies. And Iran funded Hamas, Iran funded in Gaza, and Iran funded Hezbollah in Lebanon, Iran funded and supported Yemen, Houthis in Yemen, and Iran funded also PMF in Iraq. So Iran wanted these proxies so that it could keep Israel and US busy there, and so that Iran couldn't be attacked, and Iran wanted the war to stay away from its border. So that was the reason for why that Iran supported these proxy groups, and why Iran is supporting even now these proxy groups. So this was the reason we have told you that why Iran is supporting this proxy group. And the story of these proxy groups, these are Hezbollah's missiles are being launched towards Israel, and these are Hezbollah's missiles launched towards Israel. we are showing you the footages of Hezbollah launching rockets and missiles towards Israel. Those bright flashes are when the rockets are and the missiles are intercepted over the skies, and most of them are intercepted, while few also manage to make an impact in Israel as well. And there is a confusion that regarding that there is a confusion as well among people that people always talk about Iron Dome, and Israel not only has that one Iron Dome which intercepts missiles. Israel has multiple layered defense system. Israel has Arrow 1 system, Arrow 2 system, Arrow 3 system, David Sling system, the THAAD system, the Patriot system, the Iron Dome system. So these are multiple air defense system which Israel has, and Israel uses it for different purposes. And Israel uses it for different purposes. The different purposes are that for the short range rockets and missiles, the Iron Dome is used by Israel, and the Iron Dome specializes in intercepting the short range rockets and missiles, possibly coming from Iran, possibly coming from Lebanon. So most of you see the Hezbollah, when Hezbollah fires the rockets and missiles, those are intercepted by Iron Dome system, because Iron Dome system specializes in intercepting missiles and rockets which come from a shorter distance, whereas for longer distances such as for ballistic missiles, which Iran fires towards Israel, there is the David Sling, and along with that David Sling, Israel has the Arrow 3 defense system. These two defense systems are there for intercepting long-range ballistic missiles. The long-range ballistic Iranian missiles are intercepted by Israel by David Sling system and the Arrow 3 air defense system. So this was a little like this gets confusing to people, so that's why I wanted to make a clarification to you guys that which kind of defense system intercepts which kind of incoming missiles. So other than that, now come towards Iran. Iran has multiple missiles, and Iran has broadly speaking cruise missiles as well as and ballistic missiles as well. Cruise missiles are like surface to surface missiles, and they are low flying missiles, whereas ballistic missiles do make trajectory. Ballistic missiles make a trajectory, upward trajectory, and then they then move towards a target, making a trajectory, moving out from the atmosphere of the Earth and then entering again the atmosphere of the Earth. So they make a trajectory. So Iran has, broadly speaking, these two kinds of missiles, and Iran, and talking of ballistic missiles, Iran, the main ballistic missiles for Iran are the Khurramshahr missile. Iran has the Fateh missiles, the Khyber missiles, and Iran has Fateh 1, Fateh 2 missiles. Iran has Sajil missiles as well. Most of Iranian missiles are hypersonic, means they travel at more than the speed of light, many times the speed of the speed of sound. They are hypersonic missiles. They travel many times the speed of the sound, and it is difficult when a missile travels at that much speed, and also it has the ability to maneuver, so it becomes very difficult to intercept such missiles. So Iran is having those hypersonic missiles that have maneuverability as well. On the other hand, Iran has that missile as well, Sajil missile as well, which is a solid fuel missile, or the other three which I mentioned were liquid fuel missiles. And this missile, which is a Sajil missile, is a solid fuel missile, which means it is difficult to intercept this Sajil missile, as it is a solid fuel missile. This is Al Jazeera reporting that just drone footage shows the aftermath of one of the Iranian attacks in Israel since the war began. Courtesy Al Jazeera News, Israel says at least 116 were injured. This is the visuals from a few days back when Israel has opened an inquiry into why air defenses failed to intercept these missiles and incoming drones. We are sharing you the footages courtesy Al Jazeera News. These are the footages courtesy Al Jazeera News. After a drone and a missile make an impact a few days ago in Israel, a drone and a missile made an impact in which 116 Israelis were injured, and Israelis are investigating this matter as to why air defenses system failed to intercept these incoming missiles. And this is one of the biggest. This is breaking from us. Israel, Al Jazeera, courtesy Al Jazeera, that this is one of the biggest attack by Iran on Israel, and since the beginning of the war, this is one of the biggest attack on Israel by Iran, courtesy Al Jazeera News, that in this attack 116 people were injured, and Israel has also opened an inquiry as to why the drones and these drones and these missiles weren't intercepted. These missiles and these drones weren't intercepted by Israeli air defense systems. So now, again, let me share you this breaking news to you people that Israel, there is courtesy Al Jazeera News, that one of the biggest attack in Israel has happened a few days ago, and this is now in news everywhere, that Al Jazeera is also reporting it, that one of the biggest attack has happened in Israel and since the beginning of the war, and in this attack 116 people have been reported to be injured, and this attack was because a drone and a missile make an impact. Investigations are going on in Israel as to why air defenses system failed to intercept these incoming missiles and drones. This is a big news, as since the start of the war, no attack was as big as this was. An Iranian drone and missile attack on Israel, courtesy Al Jazeera News, that in these attacks the missiles and drones managed to penetrate the air defenses and managed to make an impact, and 116 people have been injured in these attacks of drones and missiles, and investigations are going on as why and how come the air defenses system failed to intercept these incoming missiles, Iranian missiles and drones. I have already told you earlier that Israel has multiple layered defense system. Israel has Arrow 1 system, Arrow 2 system, Arrow 3 system, David Sling system, the THAAD system, the Patriot system, and Iron Dome system. And still, with all of these defense systems, Israel and the Iranian drones and missiles did manage to make an impact, and this is one of the biggest attack in Israel from Iran. And courtesy Al Jazeera News, that 116 people have been reportedly injured in these drone and missile attacks, and Israel has launched an investigation into as to why defense systems have failed to intercept these incoming drones and missiles. So this was the breaking news which we shared with you. Now, do please comment your thoughts as well, and do please share your on this update and this war situation. Do please share your thoughts as well. These are Iranian clusters of missiles over the Israeli skies. We have 97 votes now that who is in better position in this war and who is winning this war, and 81% of the people say that Iran is winning, and 19% of the people are saying that US and Israel are winning this war. With this, we move to some of the other stories. And when it comes to the winning of the war, I read a comment earlier that no one wins in a war. That I agree with. But talking from a political perspective and who is winning the war, and when it comes to, if you look at it from a point of view that which country's infrastructure has been damaged more, and which country has more casualties, and which country are which country are is which country is which country's infrastructure has been damaged more, and which country's leadership has been assassinated more. And then obviously, if you look at from this perspective, US and Israel are the winners of this war, as they have and if you look at it, yes, I agree there is no one winning a war, but I am talking it purely from a perspective of political perspective, and as both sides are claiming victory, so we are analyzing their statements. If you look at it from the perspective of that, the regime change objective, which was basically an objective of US and Israel, that they wanted regime change in Iran. And if you look at it from that angle, whether regime change has been achieved or not, if you look at from that angle, then obviously regime change hasn't been successful, and IRGC and Islamic regime of Iran is still holding its ground. So from that perspective, and they are also fighting and launching missiles towards Israel and US bases in the Gulf. From that perspective, obviously Iran is in better position, if you see from that perspective, as they have also effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz since 28th day. It's that the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and it is closed since the beginning of the war. These are the visuals when Iranian naval base was targeted. You can see a child playing in front on a swing, and at the back you can see those clouds. Those clouds are smoke clouds when Iranian naval base was targeted by Israel and US Air Forces. When US Air Forces were struck naval bases of Iran. And in these visuals, you can clearly see that a child is playing on a swing, and at the back, you can see that there are smoke clouds, and these are because of Iranian naval base was struck by Israel and US. Cluster of missiles, and these are cluster of missiles over the skies of Israel, and these cluster of missiles are now I had a question. Iran is in better position, because the Strait of Hormuz is closed since the 28th day of the war, and the US, despite trying hard, didn't open the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran is effectively controlling the Strait of Hormuz, and the regime change objective hasn't been achieved, even if Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been killed, and he's been replaced by his son Mujtaba Khamenei. So if you look at from this angle, so Iran is in better position, that regime change objective hasn't been achieved, and even and the U.S. Hasn't opened the Strait of Hormuz. And if you look at it from the perspective that the top leadership has been killed, and the IRGC leadership has been commanders has been killed, and the infrastructure is badly damaged, then obviously Iran has suffered huge losses in that categories as well. So this is how you look at, depends on the perspective, from which perspective you look at the things. And obviously the war is still going on, and it would be a prolonged war, and it would be a prolonged war in my opinion if negotiations don't take place, and if negotiations take place and they fail, it would be a prolonged war. And but Marco Rubio today said that it wouldn't be a prolonged war, and it would be wrapping up within a matter of days. So this is my perspective, which I am telling you. So these are Iran's cluster munitions towards. These are Iran's cluster munitions over the skies of Israel, and drone attacks are now. Technology is being used. Iran is using its drone technology. Iran is now utilizing its drone technologies more, as this Shahid drones are that same drone which Iran has also exported and to Russia as well, and Russia is using these drones against the war against Ukraine, in their war against Ukraine as well. So these drones have been proven to be very effective since the beginning of the war. With these $20,000 drone, $1 billion early warning defense system, radar system. Early warning radar system was worth $1 billion, which was deployed in Qatar. That was taken. The early warning Qatar, the early warning radar system was worth $1 billion, was damaged by this kamikaze Shahid drone. So your question is ground invasion inbound. Yes, do please comment over the ground invasion as well, whether you people think that Iran, that the US would ask for, US would go for ground invasion or not, or whether ground invasion is possible or not, and what would be the likely scenario if ground invasion, we see ground invasion by US, what would be the scenario then? From my perspective, and what I think is that US would be needing at least 500,000 and or 1 million people on ground for successfully, if US wants to invade Iran. But that too would be very difficult, because of the terrain, and that terrain is not favorable to US, as it is mountainous regions and deserts. And the second point would be that Iran knows that and they have prepared for guerrilla warfare, and they have trained their IRGC, and the IRGC would be fighting guerrilla warfare, and they know that when it comes to the guerrilla warfare, and US failed in Vietnam when Vietnamese soldiers and people fought a guerrilla warfare against US, and the US also failed in Afghanistan when Taliban did a guerrilla warfare against them. So IRGC knows this, and they have prepared this. And they have prepared for the guerrilla warfare. So it would be very difficult, and even if the US does manage to successfully do a ground invasion, even then the point would be that to sustain those ground invasion, and to sustain that ground invasion, and to maintain that huge amount of huge amount of troops, large amount of troops. The US would be needing a huge amount of budget as well. So that would be a costly operation for US. And $30 billion. US has already spent $30 billion up till now in this war, and the US is spending nearly $1 billion a day on this war. So we are analyzing these social media footages, which can be unverified at times. We are analyzing these social media footages, which can be unverified at times, purely from educational and documentary point of view, strongly following the YouTube community guidelines. Let's move towards some more news. Chinese vessel sails at unsafe distance from Philippine Navy. This was not the relevant news. These are Hezbollah launching rockets towards Israel, and Israel is now intercepting these missiles over the Israeli skies. And those when you see those bright flashes, these are bright flashes when a rocket or an incoming missile is intercepted. You see those bright flashes. And talking of investigation, and another investigation is going on. Let's talk about how many let's talk about how many I did forget. I was reading your comments. I forgot what was I'm trying to. What was now? This is direct Iranian missile. Iranian missile impact in central occupied Palestine. This is the visuals we are showing you. Now, talking of the ground invasion, and the discussions are indeed going on in the US that the discussions are going on. The decision is yet to be reached, and we'll see if US makes this decision of sending troops on ground and boots on ground, and the decision is yet to be made, and we'll see if US decides with and wants to go ahead. Yes, another comment we have: Iran chose a lot of missiles over having an air force. Yes, Iran did choose a lot of missiles over having an air force. Iran, they might have their own reasons for doing this, but they prefer missiles over air force. Yes, indeed, they preferred missiles over air force, and they have an outdated air force, and that is not up to the mark, and US and Israel have clear air superiority over Iran, and but Iran has missiles and drones which are kind of a headache for Iran, for Israel and Iran. And you know that let's go to the impacts that these drones have made and the targets that these drones have achieved. Out of those is, we have told you that in the mid-March, these drones damaged 5 of the KC-135 refueling airplanes. KC-135 refueling airplanes of US were damaged by these drones which Iran used, and they were standing. These jets were stationed at the Saudi Arabia's airbase, and Iran hit them there, and in the mid of the March, and 5 of those jets, refueling jets, got damaged, and US has confirmed this, that 5 of those jets have indeed been damaged, and US also said that US also said that they are repairing those jets, and those jets would be back in the business and the service as soon as it is possible for them. So another investigation I was talking about was that F-35. There's an investigation going on in America that an F-35 was damaged. Iran claimed that, and IRGC claimed that. IRGC claimed that, and Iran claimed that they did attack this F-35, but US said that it was an accident and not an Iranian attack, and the investigations are going on whether it actually was an investigation, or is it like it was an attack by Iran, or by it was an accident, and investigations are going on, because F-35 is a stealth fighter jet, and it is $100 million jet, and it is invisible to the radars. And is it possible if Iran hit it or not? Investigations are going on in the US as well, and they are investigating the matter whether Iran hit it, or that if it is due to an accident. I'm reading your comments. China have radar tech that can see stealth, and looks like Iran has some of it at that F-35 was hit. Yes, I do agree with you that China has radar tech, and they have the Beidou system as well, and they are indeed telling the positions of US troops, and also they are helping Iran in making these, and they are also helping Iran and providing such equipments so that Iran can see those stealth F-35s and F-22s. So yes, I agree with you. Only in dream we want to go in. You have a comment that only in dream. What only in dream? If you are talking about that F-35 hit, that is confirmed by US, and already investigations are going on in the US that whether it was an accident. US did confirm that F-35 was is damaged, but the point is Iran claims that they have hit this F-35, and US says that it is due to an accident. So there's a difference between whether the damage is due to a Iranian hit or it is due to an accident. And you can disagree on it that it is due to damage, but investigations are going on, and US is investigating this matter. It is whether due to a hit or it is due to the damage, accidental damage. Now, remember, let's move to some more visuals, and if let's move to some more visuals. These are Hezbollah has released footage of Israeli soldiers. Hezbollah has released these visuals. These are the visuals from that Hezbollah has launched, that Hezbollah has provided, and when Hezbollah is attacking the Israeli soldiers. Breaking news, Iran. I am reading a comment that breaking news, Iran has fully surrendered. No, this is not the case. Iran has said that they won't surrender, and even Jim Mattis, the former general of US, this is to reply your question. US former general Jim Mattis has said that when Trump asked Mujtaba Khamenei to surrender unconditionally, US President Trump, when he said to Mujtaba Khamenei that to new Ayatollah Khamenei that to surrender unconditionally, even Jim Mattis commented on it and said that this is totally delusional, and asking Iran to surrender unconditionally is like delusional and without having basically plans. Jim Mattis was criticizing the Trump administration, and he said that without having plans, asking Iranians to surrender unconditionally without having plans is basically a delusional, absolutely delusional, and it can't happen. This was General Jim Mattis who said this. And your news that Iran has surrendered, it's not true. And Iranian spokesperson has also said that they would be fighting, and they would be fighting till they win, until they throw US out of these Gulf region. This is what Iranian spokesperson has said. And this is what Iranian spokesperson has said, that and they would be fighting and they won't surrender. And it's look like that what they said is true, because up till now we are seeing that they are fighting despite their top leadership is gone. On the first day, the top leadership was gone. The IRGC commanders, the naval commander is also 1 to 2 days ago. The naval commander is also killed. Leaders are Tangsiri, and their defense ministers, and Ayatollah Ali Khamenei himself, and the security chief Ali Larijani, and many others notables top from IRGC as well. Many of those people were killed and assassinated by Israel and US bombings. And despite that, Iran has replaced them with new ones, and replacement of Ali Larijani has also been made. Replacement of Ali Khamenei has also been made in the shape of Mojtaba Khamenei, and the replacement of many of the IRGC dead commanders have also been made. So Iran is fighting, and Iran is not surrendering unconditionally. Iran has also said that they are not negotiating, and I'm reading your comments. Then I will say I will tell you that what are the conditions of negotiations which Iran is laying. I will come to that afterwards. Let's read your comments first. Since Iran hacked Kash Patel's FB account and released his emails and private photos, should we rely on Iran to release the Epstein files? That is interesting question. Can Iran hack the system and release the Epstein files? I don't know if they have any sort of tech. They would have already done it. Yes, Iran did hack Kash Patel's FBI. He is the director of FBI, one of the directors of FBI and officer of FBI, and his account has been hacked, and his emails and private photos have been released by Iran. And do they have the technology to release and hack the Epstein files? I don't know. If they would be having, then they would be definitely doing it. And the late and let's read the comment. There is the treatment. They say a lot of Iran's after party in the Lviv bomb cause their lives. Okay, now come back to the. Let's come back to. Now let's come back to the negotiations, whether negotiations would take place or would not take place. Three of the countries, including Turkey and including Egypt and Pakistan, are playing a role for negotiations to take place. And let's see if negotiations do take place. They have given, Iran has given its list of demands and for points which they want in negotiation. And those points are that Iran says that there are a list of demands from Iran, and the list of demands from Iran is basically Iran says that the list of demands from Iran is basically Iran says that US should pay for the damage they have done to the civilian infrastructure of Iran. US should recognize Iranians' control over the Strait of Hormuz. US should allow Iran to continue with its peaceful nuclear program and its missile program, and US should stop bombing Iran and its proxies, including Hezbollah, Hamas, and Houthis and the PMF. And there should be future guarantees by international community and strong countries that Israel and America wouldn't be starting another war with Iran. So these are some of the conditions which Iran has laid down, and Iran said they would be only negotiating if these conditions are fulfilled. And coming to the We have 330 comments now, and 72 in 45 minutes, and 72% of the people think Iran is winning, and 28% of the people think that US and Israel are winning. 330 comments, 72% and 28%, the poll which we have conducted up till now. And I was telling you, what are those what are those kind of looks like what are the conditions by US has said that Iran should end its the negotiation conditions from the US is that Iran should stop enriching its uranium, Iran should halt its missile program, Iran should stop funding and supporting its proxy groups, and Iran should open the Strait of Hormuz immediately. So these are the conditions from a US side, and I have told you. I have told you that. I have told you that these conditions from both sides. I have told you. Let me repeat those conditions again. And the conditions of the negotiations are: Iran says that they are not. At first, they said they are not interested in negotiations, and they also said that the negotiations can only take place if US accepts those conditions. Yes, I agree with you that neither side will meet those conditions, and this will be a long-term war and a prolonged war. Yes, I agree with your comment, and that neither side will meet those conditions, and this will be a long-term war. Now, I agree with your analysis. Let me repeat for my other views the conditions which which Iran has first laid down. Iran says that US should pay for the damages it has done to the Iranian civilian infrastructure, and US should pay. US should recognize Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz. US and Israel should stop the war against Iran, and also against its allies. And no future act of aggression should be done against Iran. And Iran demands international guarantees on it as well. And the right of making missiles and the missile programs and the peaceful energy should be recognized by Israel and the US as well. These are the demands from Iran, and these are the demands from Iran. We are reading your comments that thank you for making a video. I also want to make a video like this. I don't know how to make it. This is basically live streaming I am doing, and this is basically live streaming which I am doing. And what are the conditions from US? US has said that the conditions from US for the negotiations are that US says that that Iran should open the Strait of Hormuz as Iran should open the Strait of Hormuz as soon as possible. Iran should open the Strait of Hormuz as possible, and the US has also said that this missile program should be halted, and US has also said that Iran should stop funding their proxies, and US should stop. Iran should stop funding its proxies. I'm now reading. These are the demands from both sides, and both sides will be agreeing to the demands. And now we can see that this would be a prolonged war. Thank you for making a good video. Thanks for your comments. And let's read some more comments. And Now we have some. Please do subscribe the channel, and please do subscribe the channel. And another comment that very good live streaming. Congratulations. Thank you for having these kind words. Thank you for these having kind words. Now, please do comment and do subscribe as well. Subscribe the channel, as help us by subscribing to this channel, and like our video as well, and share your thoughts in the comment as well. Please do subscribe the channel as well. We are providing you the analysis over the unverified footages and reports from social media, purely from documentary and educational point of view, strongly following the YouTube community guidelines. We have a poll as well, and the poll has 370 votes in 52 minutes. Who is winning the war? And the options were Iran or US Israel, and 72% of the people out of 371 votes say that Iran is winning, and 29% of the people are saying that US and Israel are winning. Now let's come back to some more visuals and some more news. Let's share you with you some more news, and these are the visuals when Iranian drones and missiles hit Israel. Investigations are going on as to how come these missiles and drones were successful, made successful impact. Investigations are going on that why does they fail, the air defenses of Israel failed in intercepting these drones and missiles, in which Israeli people are injured. So investigations are going on, and these are the visuals from there. So let's move forward. This is the IRGC Aerospace Force carried another retaliatory ballistic missile strike towards Israel. Today, now, this is RT channel showing the clustered TV, the clustered munitions of Iranian missiles. Today, 2 to 3 steel power plants were targeted by Israel. The three steel plants were targeted by Israel. 2 to 3 steel plants today were targeted by Israel of Iran. One in Isfahan, steel power plant, and 2 on other locations were attacked by. What's the real score right now? Do anybody knows the numbers? We don't know the exact numbers, which that how many people have died from both sides, and yeah, everyone will be. Now, these are the visuals which we are showing you. These Iranian ballistic missiles. This is when in front of you see that. In front of this, you can see that a child is playing on a swing, and at the back you can see there are clouds, smoke clouds, and this is the Iranian naval base. This is when Iranian naval base was struck and hit by Israel and US bombing. Israel and US attacked Iranian naval base today, and the Iranian naval base today was targeted and bombed. This is the smoke you see is where Iranian naval base is, and it was bombed today. And in front you can see that child playing on the swing. Your comment, I know we are losing hardcore and are being lied to by our retards in control. What do you mean by we are losing? Are you talking from Iranian perspective or from US's perspective? Please do clear this as well, so that I can understand your comment properly. And Yeah, thank you for clearing it from an American perspective. You're talking about it, and that many people in America think that this was not America's war, and at the start as well, there was I heard and saw. A person, an American ex official of CIA intelligence agency, and he said there were no reports that Iran was making an intercontinental ballistic missile that would reach the U.S., and there were no such reports. So there was no threat to U.S. from Iranian missile program. So that means in the Pentagon and as well as in the intelligence community, they were very clear that there is no threat to America from Iran, and Iran doesn't possess that long range ICBMs. So that meant that there was no imminent threat to America from Iran. Despite that, President Trump went into war against Iran, and many people in America don't think that it is their war, and they don't agree with the Trump administration. There is another story that when we are talking about this what you call uranium. Let me read your comment. How can you possibly think Iran is winning, and Trump was always going to have big wars? The second time is why he's kept lying and saying he's the peace president. We will hopefully have a better leader in a few years, Iran or even. Yes, I'm reading your comments, and what I was saying that talking about uranium, Iran had 60% enriched uranium with it, and Iran had 60% enriched uranium, and Iran has made underground tunnels that run many kilometers deep, and Iran has hidden its uranium there, and with Iran hiding its uranium many kilometers deep in the earth, the uranium is now kind of safe, and because Iran has kept also the tunnels. At first they run many kilometers deep, and the entrances of the tunnels are also closed now. Iran has no air force or navy now. They are finished. Yes, Iran doesn't have air force and navy as modern and well equipped as the US and Israel have. I agree with you this comment that Iran doesn't have a well-equipped and modern air force and navy as compared to the US and Israel. Israel and US do have air superiority over Iran, and what Iran has is these Shahed drones and these ballistic missiles, which are kind of causing problems for Iran, for Israel and the US and even the Gulf countries. Iran has lost more top leaders than we have lost troops, so you can't be that silly. This depends upon the perspective. When you look at from the Iranian perspective, they can also say that they have blocked the Strait of Hormuz, despite America trying again and again to open and threatening again and again to open the Strait of Hormuz. Despite that, the Strait of Hormuz is closed since 28th day, and the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, and Iran has effective control of the Strait of Hormuz. If you look at that perspective, Iran has clearly the edge. And if you look at from the perspective you are mentioning, that Iran has lost top leaders, including the IRGC commanders and the Ayatollah Khamenei, yes, Iran has suffered a huge blow as well. So this depends on the perspective from which you are looking at this. You don't need an air force or navy to win a war. We see in Afghanistan not long ago. Yes, I agree with your thought that even in the case of Russia and Ukraine, you see, Russia was very comfortable at start and said that they would be invading very soon Ukraine. But now we see that Ukrainians are fighting, especially with their drones, and Russia. It is very difficult for Russia to do a ground invasion now. So America didn't probably learned lesson from that too, and America had also been ousted from Afghanistan as well. They didn't have navy, they didn't have air force. So this is to look at the things, and you look at the things from a broader perspective. Let me read some of the more comments. Let me read some more comments. You could be good points. Thanks for responding. Yeah, thanks for your. Thanks for your concern. Thanks for your concern. Yeah, I read your comment. Is anyone else's video buffering? Hope bro didn't take a tomahawk. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I didn't take a tomahawk. I'm fine. There was a technical glitch in here. There was a technical glitch in here, and there was a technical glitch here, and I hope it's now cleared, and now you can see the visuals as well. I hope it's cleared now. Yeah, you were kidding. Yes, thanks for those kind words, and thanks for making this stream interactive and making this as giving something us to laugh about. Thanks for you, and yeah, funny sleepy meow meow. Now there was a apologies from my side. There was a technical glitch, and so because of the internet speed went down, and so the live streaming went off air for some time, and we are now back with the live streaming. And please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and do share your thoughts with us as well, and do share your thoughts with us, and do subscribe the channel as well, and do like the video as well. Yes, I am okay, and now and the disclaimer at the now again, that the footages of the social media can sometimes be unverified at times, and we analyze those unverified social media footages and reports purely from documentary and educational point of view, strongly following the YouTube community guidelines. And I guess we should now end this live stream, as it has been nearly an hour. We were live for an hour now, and we have, let me tell you the results of the live stream. We were live for 1 hour, and it's been 470 votes. 471 votes now, 471 votes, that who is winning this war, and 71% of the people think that Iran is winning this war, and 29% of the people think US, Israel are winning this war. This was our 1 hour of the live streaming, and we had 471 votes, and 71% of people think Iran is winning. 9% people are thinking that Iran and Israel and US are winning this war. And let me read your comment. I subscribed. You are doing a good job. Thank you for your help and kind words. And from these mental elimination, Iran going to cut down internet wire in emergency route, which cause in Jaldamaru sea route, which caused a lot of problems. And okay, stay safe. Thank you. This is it for now. Hello, how are you doing? Yes, I am doing fine. Prayers needed. And whenever I'm trying to end this live stream, I get your comments and I start responding to your comments, and I start interacting, and then more visuals come, and then more news come, and then I start again with the live streaming as well. And but time for me to take a break, and because I've been speaking for one whole complete hour. So we'll see you next time when we have some more news. Do subscribe the channel, do like the channel. Prayers from my side to you guys, and thank you for making this session good, and thank you, and take care. Bye bye.